Welcome to another edition of Talking Ish Rights. We've been going for a long time, but we've been putting some things in the oven, and now it's time to bring it back out. We're back and we are live and in color. I am your host, Alphonso McClendon. Thank you for sharing these moments with us as we introduce you to up and coming businesses, artists, chefs in our area. Today, I am at the Art Gallery of Ovico in Saint Augustine, Florida. We're going to have a live conversation and we're going to tour the gallery with you. Tune in for the best of Ovico Art Gallery. I would like to welcome to the Ish family, Miss Ugochi. She is the curator of this art gallery, and she's going to give us an insight to everything, the art, the inspiration, and the love behind the art. Welcome to I Got Ish to Say, Talking Ish Fridays. Thank you for allowing us into your gallery. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and the inspiration behind it all.
Okay, and thank you for having me. So I'm Ugochi Nwoga. My background is actually finance, corporate finance. I worked in corporate America for over 12 years, in various places in the U.S. and then in Europe, in Switzerland and Norway. Then I moved back to Nigeria and I took on another corporate role in finance, the chief financial officer of an agriculture firm. Then after that, I moved back to the States and joined my family business. We have a home healthcare company. And from there, I started this gallery. And really the genesis of the gallery is really my love for art, and particularly this artist's work that we represent in the gallery, and also my passion for elevating African talent.
Okay.
And so the culmination of that, coupled with my business experience, brought this gallery to life.
Okay, let's start with your name. What do your name mean? Because I got engulfed in the Nigerian culture by looking at Nollywood. So it's not a Nollywood movie or actor or actress that I don't know. Netflix introduced me to that. So as a result of that, I'm Nigerian now myself.
Amen.
So tell me about your name. What do your name mean?
Yes, my full name is Ugochi Nwoga, which means the gift that God gave. Mm-hmm. And so the short form is Ugochi, which is God's gift.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
And my last name, Nwoga, means child of a hawk, because my great-grandfather was a big-time wrestler and he used to go down on his opponents like a hawk.
Okay.
And so that's how my last name came about.
Oh, wow. So how long have you been in the States?
So my second move back to the States, like without my family, like as a grown-up, was 2019. So I've been here for about, 6 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a finance background, but now you're the curator of an art gallery. How did that transition?
Wow, I think that at a point in my corporate career, I realized that I wanted to do something in Africa, with Africa, for Africa. And so that journey began when I moved from Switzerland back to Nigeria. I took on a role to head an agriculture firm. And so that was sort of the beginning of my journey to get closer to home. Mm-hmm. And this artist, Chike Onora, I've been collecting since the early 2000s. Okay. And so I've always loved his art and just thought that, I would love to be in a position to expose it somehow, but I didn't know how that was going to culminate, right? So park that to the side, have this experience in Nigeria, come back to the States when I was getting my MBA from Kellogg Northwestern University. And so I got back into my family business, and I still had this desire to still do something for home. And so it just really kind of popped up, like at the end of my, when I was about to graduate from school, and one of my classmates, we decided to give him something, and I contacted the artist. We bought a painting from him. He shipped over some other paintings, and then it just kind of grew from there. And fortunately, this space is actually my family's building. Okay. So the front part of it is our home healthcare company. This part, we had tenants in it. So when they moved out, I was like, I should have an art gallery. Right. And then that's how that started.
So tell us a little about the artist. I'm looking at a lot of this art and it's blowing me away. Yeah. I've seen a piece of art that can go in every part of my house. So exactly. What is his inspiration? Who is this artist? And what motivates him to do these amazing pieces?
Yes. Chike Onora is a very well celebrated and esteemed artist in Nigeria, and it really is such an honor to have his works here in the States in this capacity. And Ovico Gallery is the only gallery in the world that you can access his pieces in this capacity. So he has been painting for over 3 decades. He studied fine arts in Nigeria. In Nigeria, he does solo exhibitions every year. So like 3 weeks a year, he comes out, he does his thing, goes back, and he paints. One thing that I really like about him when I look around is versatility.
Right.
You know, it's one artist. It's unusual to have a gallery with one artist,
Right.
but this is an unusual artist.
Okay.
And so he has different styles. He calls splasholino, which is more abstract, plastilino, which is more impressionistic, and grassolino, which is that beautiful brass piece that you see in the showroom. And so he's very versatile, very well celebrated, and he says that he is like a vessel. Okay, he's a conduit, and his inspiration comes from above.
Okay.
And he's a conduit that puts it out on canvas, and once he signs his name on the painting, on the canvas, he's justified his existence on the planet. And that's how he feels. So for him, he's living his dream. He's full-time studio artist, never done anything else but this. And so you can see the discipline and the dedication in it, because that's all he does.
Right.
And interestingly enough, we never dreamed of a gallery per se, but it's like he subconsciously, it's like the spirit led him to prepare.
Right.
So we are ready. We have this gallery full of 50 plus, almost 60 paintings.
Right.
We are ready for the world,
Right.
basically,
Right.
to showcase Chika Nora's pieces. We have pieces as old as 2004 in this gallery.
What is your favorite piece that he has created?
Man, it changes. It changes. And why? Because in this, we have a showroom.
Right.
And so in the showroom, we put the piece on the wall, we turn off the lights, close the curtains, put spotlights on it, and you can see how the painting moves in sunrise, candlelight, daylight, so you can see natural lighting, how it affects it. And when I have that experience with other clients who like to see paintings, I'm like, oh, I didn't notice that in the piece, I didn't notice that. But fundamentally, my favorite color is like a dusty orange.
Okay.
So I'm attracted to pieces like this piece.
Okay.
And pieces like the piece behind you, Stepping into Sunshine, with the orange lady there. So I love those pieces. I also, I like some of these like landscape pieces as well, just because it's just different,
Right.
you know, and it really reminds me of the versatility of the artist, which is, you know, one of the things that I was attracted to in terms of putting this kind of project together.
So basically you're saying this art comes to life,
Man,
and it was birthed out of an inspiration from the artist himself.
yes, I'm telling you, like it is really something special. I was exposed to his pieces in the late 90s,
Okay.
and I was completely mesmerized. I couldn't afford to collect then, but as soon as I graduated from FAMU,
Okay.
I said, okay, I'm gonna start, you know, I got my job and I started collecting, and that was in 2002.
Right.
I started collecting, and my journey began there, but never did I imagine that I would be in a space like this with all his pieces, with a lot of his pieces. Yeah.
So what is the greatest feeling or accomplishment since you've had this gallery? What would you say your greatest moment?
When, man, I've seen, oh gosh, okay, there's a few, but I've seen someone come in here, Caucasian, and cry. So moved,
Wow.
just tears. And she needed a moment,
Right.
and I gave her that.
Wow. So when it comes to the younger generation who might not be exposed to art on this level of caliber, are there any programs that you are offering, or do you have tours for young people that may inspire them to say, wow, this is something I want to do, or something I want to become?
Yes, okay, so I'll speak from a collection perspective. Sometimes collecting art or being an art collector can seem sort of overwhelming,
Right.
expensive, etc. The beautiful thing is, in as much as we are an exclusive gallery, you do have to make an appointment to see. The artist writes poetry for each of the pieces, so all these pieces have poems attached to it,
Right. I
which is
noticed
just
that.
absolutely incredible.
Yes.
But the thing is, how do you connect to people who are sort of, you know, maybe the beginning phases of collecting, or just want to get a piece or two, with the pieces that we have? And so what we've created, still maintaining sort of the exclusivity, is what we call limited edition giclée.
Okay.
So you have a piece, an original piece, maybe that piece is $12,000, but then you have a giclée, which is the same piece on canvas, same size, for maybe $2,000. And then we go a little bit further, and then we have paper prints, and those are maybe like $200 or $300. And that way you can get a piece of the action. The difference, though, in order to maintain the exclusivity, is that the giclées are limited edition. So we don't have mass productions of that $2,000 piece, right? So we limit that, but it still opens up the opportunity, and it doesn't scare people away. It's like, you can be an art collector, you can be a collector of giclées, it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? And so that's how we're able to kind of like expand the market and welcome people in. And then if not, you can get paper prints of it, you can have a collection, you know, a book of the prints. You can frame it. They're beautiful. So yeah.
And you know, our culture, we're not into art collecting as an investment.
Yes.
Down the road, the same piece I may have paid this for, but down the road it may be worth this. So how do you engage the African American community and educate them on the art collector's mentality of how that these paintings that we may frown at the price, but it may triple in value in a couple of years.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting because, you know, a lot of sort of the pricing and valuation is subjective. But what I would say and what I've seen in terms of that value going up is what's behind it, what's driving it. Because it's all about exposure. It's not like the art got better all of a sudden. It's who is behind it. What events occurred for this art that was $10,000 to become $20,000. And so here, because I'm focused on this artist and there's a lot of efforts going into marketing and getting the right people here, etc., those efforts are what help bring up the value. Because the more you do, the more people see, you get into the right spaces. At some point, eventually, you get the right people talking, and boom, there you go. So that's why I tell people, get in where you can, because there's gonna come a point where, you know, but that speaks to the effort and the energy behind it. So that's what I would say about that. When people ask about that or when they come in, you know, and then you also follow what has the artist really achieved, where has he gone, where has he exhibited, and things like that. So you start that as a baseline, and then it's like, where is it going? And that's where I come in. Yeah.
So outside of the gallery, do you ever do shows on the road or bring art to the people?
Oh, I do. And as a matter of fact, tomorrow at 5:30 a.m., I'm going to be in the car. I'm going to take about 13 pieces, 14 pieces from here, load it up in the car, and go into Atlanta. Atlanta from the 18th through the 20th is an event called Africon 2025. And so it's an event that is bringing together African goods and products. So a lot of people from Nigeria are coming. They're selling their fashion, beauty products, all kinds of goodies from Nigeria. And they're coming to America to showcase it and really to boost trade between Americans and Africans, or African diaspora and Africans. And so I have the opportunity, like I did, same event in 2023, to exhibit exclusively. And so I'm on the road.
So as a side note, I am very disappointed in Yomi Casual. I have bought some pieces from him. He did not tell me he's going to be in Atlanta. I could have went to Atlanta and got some more clothes from him. So Yomi, I am very disappointed in you that I had to hear you're going to be in Atlanta through the artist. Okay, back to you. Okay, that's good to know. So educational wise, one of the things we like to do, we do a lot of mentorship with youth. And a lot of youth need exposure to different things. And so what is this gallery doing to give exposure to youth who may not even know what art is all about?
So listen, this is something that's been on my mind for a while, because there's two things going on here. You have an art business, right? But then you have an art business that's owned by a Black woman, okay? And so that right there is like the bedrock for inspiration for many young people. And so so while I've thought about it, we haven't actioned it because I haven't really found the right partnership to do something like that. Even just teaching them how to behave in a gallery, you know, and things like that. And that type of education, I'm very open to that, you know, because I think it's important while we are on our journey that we're carrying people along. I mean, I carry my kids along. My kids come here, they do inventory. They help me prepare for shows, you know, because they need to see and understand, you know, what it takes. And so I would love to bring, you know, people in. I do have someone who works for me who's young, who has learned quite a bit from this experience, and I'm the type of person that I share.
Right.
I just share, you know, it doesn't hurt to just share, just say it. In fact, it's freeing. Please no more so I can do less. So yes, I'm totally game for that. I think it's very important for young people to see what's possible.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And to know the different paths you can take, the different what elements it takes to go to that path, and the right mindset that you need to have. Because doing something like this, you have to have the right mindset.
Right.
Otherwise, you won't even be able to even dream of it, let alone execute it.
Right.
But if your mind is befuddled with all kinds of nonsense, you're not gonna have any room to for this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those things are very important for them to understand, to lay the foundation so that they can build up from there. Because if the foundation is not laid, no matter what you tell them, they're not gonna do anything. Because they're not gonna be in the right space. Being in the right space is important.
That's powerful. That's powerful. So I know when I first came in, I didn't know what to expect.
Yes.
But as I began to tour the gallery, look at the different art, it's very liberating. If you are a visionary and you start looking at some of this art, it'll make you even think outside of your own box.
Absolutely.
So this is an amazing art gallery. Tell the Ish family how they can contact you, how can they view or visit your gallery, and even how can they purchase from your gallery.
Yes, absolutely, yes. So, first things first, our website, ovicogallery.com. And from there, you can make an appointment to view the gallery. You can go to events to see events that we have. You can see our social media. We're on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And this gallery is open by appointments only.
Okay.
And sometimes we have events, like we have an event October 1st. And that is to celebrate Nigerian Independence Day.
Okay.
Because that's Nigerian Independence Day is October 1st.
Okay.
And so we will have Nigerian music, live music, we'll have Nigerian foods, some Nigerian drinks, and then of course the art. And so yeah, and then just look out, follow us on social media. We always announce what we're up to. But yeah, to make an appointment, you go on the website and then you fill out the paper and we get the email. And I look forward to more people coming.
That sounds good. Ish family, you have heard it and you have seen some of this art. This is a gallery that you need to visit. You're gonna feel inspired, you're gonna feel motivated, and you're gonna feel challenged. What can I do more in my life? So it has been a pleasure for us to be in this gallery. This is something that we need to do on the podcast, not just talking this Friday. So we're gonna explore ways to come back to this gallery and expose some of this art, participate in some of the events. I know you miss me, but I'm back, live and in living color. If you haven't subscribed or liked or followed us, do so. Talking this Fridays, Alphonso McClendon, I am your host. Thank you for joining us again.